Yes, guys, welcome back to the channel, back with another match reaction, and it's finished. Inter Milan 1, Arsenal 3, and that is 7 from 7 in the Champions League, you get me? We've got, of course, a brilliant opportunity to make it 8 from 8 against Kairat, which I'm expecting us to do, regardless of, the team we set out in that game. But after, tonight, listen, the changes we made, especially in midfield, I wasn't really expecting that sort of result because this was a must-win for Inter Milan tonight. And Arsenal, let's be honest, before the game, I'm pretty sure Manchester City's loss against Bodo Glimt earlier confirmed our place in the top 8. So we were going to this game with no pressure, really. It was dead rubber. But I still, despite it not meaning anything, to be honest with you, gaining that top spot is always nice, isn't it? Considering the pain we've had to go through, by the way, second place finishes and, we finished first of the league phase. So, yeah, we'll take that as a dub. But listen, there's still a little bit to go in the Champions League. And, of course, finishing first in the league phase don't mean anything when it's the Champions League. You've got to, of course, make it lead to something, which is, of course, winning that Champions League. Which I think, when you look at it, and the way we are so free-flowing in the Champions League in comparison to the Premier League, we've got a great opportunity to win this competition. I think us and Bayern Munich, you could say, are the favourites for this competition, in my opinion. And, we beat Bayern Munich. So, listen, it's going to be interesting. It's always obviously nice to not be playing that extra game, which I think is in February. Because if you don't make the top 8, then you have to play a qualifier. So that's always nice. And of course, as I said in the last game against Kairat, we can afford to rotate in that one. We should be putting them to the sword, whatever team we put out. So yeah, tonight was a really good performance from Arsenal. I was really impressed with what I saw from certain individuals. I thought, apart from a couple of decisions which I wasn't happy with, if I'm being picky, bringing off Eze after 65 minutes. I mean, I don't know what he has over Marino, to be honest with you. I still don't like the guy in midfield. And the fact he's getting more substitute appearances than Eze, and, he's getting hooked before Marino eventually. Did he play 90 minutes? I think he did, So, listen, it's a shame, really. It really is, because I wanted Eze to complete the full 90 minutes, but it's clear that this manager don't like him. But listen, apart from that, I think the manager got it spot on tonight. I mean, I think the Declan Rice substitution topped it off for me. The fact he brought on Declan Rice just for him to get booked. So he's suspended for the next game against Cairo, which is smart, to be fair. Very smart, because that means he'll be playing in the round of 16, which is, it's a bonus, really. Of course, Marino's also suspended for the next game, so it will likely be Norgard and Zubamendi, maybe. Although I would like to see Lewis Skelly in midfield. I'd love it if he does end up playing in midfield at some point in that game, because he's already in midfield anyway whenever he's inverting, so you might as well give him a shot there, especially when we've got Marino and Declan Rice suspended for the next game. Speaking of Skelly, I thought he did well tonight. Listen, he's been under scrutiny lately, and I kind of get it. I mean, his performances have been underwhelming, it's fair to say. I thought tonight he played quite well, so fair play to him. The centre-backs tonight, I thought Saliba was unreal. Mosquera, first game since his injury, I thought he played very well again. I mean, listen, you would not be able to tell the difference between him and Gabriel. Obviously, Gabriel had to come on in the end, because whether that being the striker who came on for Inter Milan, causing him all sorts of problems, but I still think he dealt with him quite well, to be honest with you. Um, but Gabriel came on, he assured things up and did what he needed to do. Midfield, Zubimendi. Wasn't really too impressed with Zubimendi tonight. I just think with him and Marino, it doesn't really necessarily work. Of course, when he's alongside Declan Rice, you do see a better player in Zubimendi. But in transition, stinky. Marino, I've said my piece on Marino. He's just in midfield. It's a hard watch. For Eze, listen, whatever you think of his performance, or whatever you think of his performances, it's clear that we look far more free flowing with Eze in the 10. Because it was him that, believe it or not, started off the first goal that we scored from Gabriel Jesus. I mean, let's be honest, Odegaard doesn't drive into that space. He just doesn't. And unfortunately, it's probably going to be him who'll be playing in the 10 at the weekend. So I don't really want that to happen. It should be Eze, but listen, it's going to be Odegaard and we've got to put up with it. Saka, I thought, played quite well. It just frustrates me, that moment where he didn't pass it to Gyökeres, like, there is an issue there, like, come on. However, he got an assist for Gyökeres' goal, We're taking it. You're not going to see a better assist. Definitely didn't miscontrol the ball and it led to Gyökeres' path. Nothing like that. That was all Bukayo Saka, definitely. But listen, I thought he played well tonight. Trossard, I thought, played well. Gabriel Jesus, man of the match for me, scored a brace. The first goal is fantastic anticipation, by the way. Ball's getting fizzed across the box and he just sticks out a leg. And it's in, 1-0 up. Of course, Inter Milan's got an absolute banger for the equaliser. And then Jesus scored from a set piece. Trossard at the back post, nodding it down, and then Gabriel Jesus again. Striker's anticipation. It's where we want him to be. Substitutions came on. Who came on? I know Declan Rice obviously came on. Gabriel came on. Gyökeres came on. Great goal, by the way. What a flipping goal. I mean, that is 2 goals in 3 games for Gyökeres. Hopefully that is going to do him the world of good. Before we play Man United as well at the weekend at the Emirates. So that's going to give Arteta an interesting selection headache, it's fair to say. Like, who's going to start up front? Jesus scored a brace tonight. Gyökeres scored an absolute banger. So he's going to have that fire in his belly. Like, you can tell how relieved he was that he got that goal. Although he scored against Chelsea, but listen, he scored tonight at a big away ground, Listen, it was a fantastic cameo. And by the way, Martinelli, that was another change that we made. What a pass, by the way. I mean, this guy needs to be studied in the Champions League, by the way. Some of the passes he was pulling off when he came on, ridiculous. I'm trying to think who else came on. Ben White came on. I mean, didn't do too badly. Did what he needed to do again. And that's about it, really. There's not really a whole lot to talk about. Obviously, 3-1 win. Got the job done. We secured top spot. We moved to, of course, Man United at the weekend, which is, of course, the main focus. We've got to beat Man United. We can't afford any more slip-ups. So, hopefully, we batter them at our ground like, well, just do every flipping season, pretty much, in the Premier League. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below about the game. And, subscribe. I'm road to 2K. And we'll catch you for the weekend. Peace.